Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I have a standing Qigong inspired flow. This is designed to increase your vitality, immunity and mobility as well. You can practice this sitting or lying down. Have your feet together. We're going to open with our left leg out. So just note that I am not mirroring you here. For the ladies, we're going to place your right hand on the lower belly, left hand on top, and for the guys is the opposite. And we're just going to breathe into our lower dantian. This is also known as a deep diaphragmatic breathing. So as you inhale, think about pushing the hands out. As you exhale, press the hands down into the lower belly. So you're storing energy. Alright, so from here, we're just going to go straight into what we call a spontaneous Qi Gong. So basically, just relax, do nice light bounces on your heels. You don't have to jump, it's just being like a kid. Let your body flow. This is a wonderful way to just ease off any tension as well. Okay? If you feel up for it, you can just bring your knees even higher. Swing your arms side to side, up and down, like a kid, you know. You can also make sounds like brrr and all that. Alright, so from here, we're going to go into pulling down from heavens. So hands in front of you as you inhale, palms facing towards your thighs. You're going to draw the hands up towards the sky, forming this triangle here. And as you exhale, you open the hands out to the side as if you're pulling from the sky down towards the earth. Good. Just nice and easy flow. Nothing too complicated here. Good. Just inhale here and exhale. Alright, from here we're going to go into Soaring Crane. I love this movement. So basically, as you exhale, you round the back. Think about your fingertips touching each other as you inhale. Open the chest up towards the sky. Good. As you stick the tailbone out. As you exhale, round the back. Tuck the tailbone slightly under. That's it. Good. And next from here, we are going into the same similar action here. As you inhale, draw the hands up towards the sky, forming triangle. As you exhale, clench the fists and think about rounding the back, elbows beside your armpits, and release the hands up to the side. Inhale, bring the hands up towards the ceiling, forming triangle. Exhale, round the back. So imagine that someone is just punching your stomach lightly as you pull down from the sky, elbows beside you. Good. So essentially what you've been doing so far, you're just mobilizing your spine with the breath here. Good. A couple more times of this. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, pull down heavens. Good. That's it. Just keep your knees nice and soft so you're not locking the knees, but you're also not sitting down too much. Okay? Shouldn't be too much pressure on any parts of your joints. Alright, and now next, let's go into bamboo in the wind. So let's begin on your right side. As you bend to your right, raise your left hand up overhead. Good, and as you straighten the spine, drop the left hand, right hand goes up overhead. Good. So when you go for the side bend, imagine you're sandwiched between two walls. So the body doesn't hinge forward. You are also not hinging back. Okay, this is a great way to open up the side of the body. Usually your gallbladder channels, opening up your liver and your spleen channels as well. Good, as you go to the side bend, you want to gradually open up the shoulder joints, armpits up towards the ceiling as well. Good. Do this comfortably at your own pace. It's not essential that you need to bend all the way down. After a few rounds, let's go into our knocking the door of life, as you see here. So just essentially, as you twist the body side to side, you want to knock at your lower back. That's also known as your Ming Men. Good. So notice how you're rotating from the hips as well, keeping the knees nice and soft. And then from here, I like to transit our upper hand into your upper shoulders as well, touching your small intestines, meridian points here. Good. Another great way to mobilize the spine in the rotational manner. Good, that's it. And just breathe, yeah? Nice. So all these practices, you do this all these practices, you do this daily throughout the day, you start to see improvement in your joints as well as in your energy flow. Okay, so next up, nice and warm here. We're just gonna go into what I call some pelvic tilts here, standing pelvic tilts. So as you exhale, think about closing the line between your ribcage and top of your hips. So think about tucking the tailbone under. And then as you inhale, you want to lengthen that line between the ribcage and top of the hips, as if you're sticking the tailbone out. And exhale, tucking tailbone. Inhale, tuck the tailbone away. Good. Some of you can also imagine you have a bowl of water that is really just right across the hip bone, and you're just rocking the hips or rocking the bowl of water front and back. And now we're going to go into circles. Good. So you want to do this without moving the rest of the body, just the hips here. You can keep the knees relatively bent. Good. That's it. Relax the shoulders as well. Nice. So you can play around with the directions here, clockwise, anti-clockwise. All right, then a series of full body joint movement here. Let's begin with our neck rotation. Good. And just relax the shoulders here. Nothing too complicated. Just think as if you're drawing circles with the top of the head here. Good. Don't forget to change sides as well. And notice how your neck feels on either side here. All right, and then let's go into our shoulder joints. Just rotate the shoulders front and back here. So again, just imagine you're drawing circles with the top of the shoulders. Hands straighten out in front of you. Just do a couple of wrist circles in both directions. Imagine you are circling rice in your hands. You can clench your fist as well. And let's go into our hip circles here. Imagine there is a pen on the outside of your hips and you're drawing circles on the ground. Don't forget to change sides. All right, and then we go into our knee circles here. If you need to support yourself, go ahead and have a chair beside you, hands on the chair as you do the circles. And then, of course, our ankle circles as well. Nice. Don't forget to change sides here. So notice how this is also challenging your single leg stability. All right, then we're going to go into some of our point and flex here for the tendons. I'm doing a little bit fast here, so you can do this at your pace. You can pause the video and do a couple of rounds of that. Okay, and then we go into what I call hip rotation here. This is really important to open up the hips. So think about, let's start with the right. So float the right knee up as high as you can until it's at 90 degrees. And then think about opening your knees up to the side, lower them. And then we're going to change the direction. Now, if you can't lift the knees up to 90 degrees, just as much as you can. The key thing here is that you want to keep the upper body as locked as possible and that your hips doesn't go all the way up. Yeah? And then now next we're going to imagine we're drawing circles with the knees. Good. That's it. So notice how I'm not leaning my body too much to one side. I'm also not what we call hip hiking too much. Okay? So this is also working on your core stability. So core is not just your abs, it's your entire front, side, and back muscles. and it also linked all the way to your inner thighs. Good. So depending on how you feel today, you may draw smaller circles with your knees, and your knees may not be that high, and that's fine. And just imagine your thigh bone is lubricating around the hip joint. Okay, and now let's have our legs stand hip width apart in what we call an Uji posture here. We're going to go into a pretty dynamic Qigong move called Gathering Earth. So as you inhale, open hands out to the side. You're going to squat as low as you can towards the ground. Scoop the hands together as you gather. Imagine you're gathering grass at the bottom. As you stand up, hands crossed in front of your heart. Open the hands up towards the sky, like pulling down from heavens. And then palms face down at the heart center. Again, inhale, open hands out to the side, squat. Imagine you're gathering all the earth's resources, bringing it up to your heart center, bringing it up to the sky, pulling it down towards the heart, and then you repeat. Okay? Now, if you can't reach all the way to the ground, that is okay. Just do what you can. Try to keep the back as straight as possible. So for most of us, or some of us who are always in that seated position, your back may be rounded or your upper chest may be rounded. So you need to think about opening up the chest as you squat down. Nice. Good. Inhale, open hands up. Exhale, you're going to sit, scoop. Cross the hands at the chest as you stand up, open hands up. So notice how your hands are like making that number 8. I love this exercise throughout the day as it really energizes my entire body. And obviously, it's a dynamic movement, as you can see why. I'm doing lots of squats here. Alright, so now you're nice and warm, we're going to go into what I call just an alternate shoulder drop. As you do this, you want to think about pushing your knees out. You want to really stretch and strengthen out your inner thighs. Some of you might feel this on the lower back or even the mid back. Okay. All right, and then we're just going to end off with a couple of breaths here. I want to just bring your feet back together. You inhale, bring the hands up. As you exhale, you tuck in your chin and slowly melt the spine down towards the floor. Walk the hands away from your feet. Lower your elbows down on. So you're coming into what I call a modified inverted V or downward dog. This is how I modify for people with injured wrist here. If your wrist feels good, you can just have the palms on the ground and push your butt up towards the ceiling. Elbows are straight. You want to keep the back in line, in one straight line, so you're not dropping your neck too much. Your ears ideally should be just right beside your arms or your biceps, and you're looking between the inner thighs. If you're on the elbows, it's the same thing. So your biceps are beside the ears. Just note that when you're on the elbow, this is a lot more challenging. So if you want to have this nice deep stretch, you can have the elbows on a higher surface like the bed or a chair or a table that is steady.